Gotta make another one. I'm making another one. This is a Road Rippers Street Beat Z. I mean, not that. Street Screamer. I'm sorry. It's a Road Rippers Street Screamer. It's a 2015 Dodge Viper SRT. 2015 SRT Dodge Viper. They're pretty cool, I think. Show you this stuff here. Takes 3 AAA batteries, 3 AAA batteries, and they're smaller than AA's. I don't have many, but I just put some new batteries in this because the other one was dead and it wasn't letting me push the backward button, and the forward button would work, but then as soon as it stopped and go to the part where it's supposed to go back and forth like this, it quit on me too. So I put more batteries in it so it'll go as fast as it can now. The only problem is if I put it all the way up on forward, it'll start doing donuts. Here's Nash. I don't know if it'll do it on the concrete floor, but I did it upstairs in the hallway. And it's got like smooth wood floor down there. It's got a little speaker, freaking nuts motor here. It's freaking fast for a small motor. And it's got 2 lights. It's got one here and one here. They're both yellow. 3 buttons. It's got a forward, a backward, and a song. And the song is copyrighted from that PT Cruiser. It looks like a monster truck. It's got that big engine on it. I think it's like a Muscle Boss. One of the Muscle Boss. I think it's Muscle Boss Manic. Manic? Is it Maniac? Yeah, Maniac. I'm sorry, not Manic. This is a Season 3. It's got that right there. It says RR right there. That means Road Ripper. It's got it imprinted right here. You can tell it's older because they didn't change the Road Ripper imprint to make it look cooler yet. What you do is 3 different speeds. For some weird reason, I mean, you push this once, it'll go medium speed. If you hold this down and wait till it goes to the number 2, it'll go the slowest, which makes no sense. And then if you hold it all the way down and do 3 times, it will do the fastest it will ever go, and it will do, these 2 lights would be blinking yellow. Medium and slow would be solid yellow on the lights. The fastest, it will blink while it's going forward. So you can see this is freewheel. This is not freewheel. This is the motor. This has got that little circle right there. You can tell it's the motor. And there's the speaker and everything like that. This was made, this particular one, this particular Street Screamer was made January 5th of 2015. This is fairly old, not really, but see, they changed the battery cap. They did that a long time ago. And I wish they still made like the old Road Rippers that they made. I wish they still made them like that. They were way better. They were a hell of a lot better. They were a heck of a lot better than they were. So, we're about ready to go with my grandma grapples. I'm gonna ask them if I could put... What? What? No. Are you sure? I don't think so. I don't get the dryer. Oh. We'll get it and put it away. Can I finish this video? Oh, God, yeah. Hey. You don't give a crap what my dad was calling me about the dryer. I gotta get my clothes out of the dryer. The old cars are like the best dang cars there ever was. Especially when it hit season 2. They rocked it with that. Now they basically suck. Cars ain't big anymore. They're all stickers instead of paint jobs, everything. Even the sound effects they suck at because they're all copyrighted from a bunch of different ones and there might be all the same dang things. There's a few sound effects that are new. Such as like the dance cars, like the Mini Cooper and the Volkswagen. Those are new. Those are basically new sound effects, but other than that, that's it. And there's some street screamers on eBay that are older than this one particular one right here. Right here. And I'm gonna try to get one. Not that Mustang is black and has the fire flames. That one I'm not gonna get. That's not one of the originals. One of the originals. I'm not talking about the ones that look like a freaking monster truck. I'm talking about the ones that are low to the ground like this. They look like a regular dang car. That's what I'm talking about. There's 3. I looked at them. There's the original. There's Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. Those are the 3 main competitors in the manufacturer automotive company, All America, that are not electric cars, such as Tesla. Tesla's not as good, but there's 3 models that I know of. There's different paint jobs, but there's 3 models. There's a Chevrolet Corvette of 2000. There's the Dodge Viper of 02. And then there's a Mustang. At first I thought it was a Subaru until I actually physically looked at the side of the car and it said Mustang. It's like, oh, I would have never known that thing was a Mustang. But apparently it was it's a 99 looking Mustang. Of course, they made those Mustangs until 2003, and they tried changing that in 04 with concepts like the 04 concept, like that blue and white Mustang I have that's a Road Ripper. Found it's an 04, it's not an 05. And the 04 GTR of that concept turned into, it's yellow, black hood, black spoiler, side exhaust, and stuff. And then they came out with the 05 Mustang, when they basically took off the 65 Mustang and they made it new and slick and everything back into the 05. That's when that happened. But the Corvette, I plan on getting the Corvette unless some other guy gets it, but I plan on getting that because those are pretty rare, I would say. Especially finding the original paint job. That was definitely rare. And not the monster truck ones, the ones that are freaking slick, low to the ground, low riders. Basically, the original type cars. So you'd have to find the gray Corvette with the blue on it. And the original Viper one. It's not black with red on the side or something. It's red with black on the sides. And then the original Mustang. I have not seen the original paint job of the Viper yet. But I have seen the Viper. But it was just black and red on the sides instead of red and black on the sides. The Mustang is green and blue. Maybe a little bit of black and white. I have not seen that thing at all, so that thing is freaking rare. You know why? You know why it's rare? Chevy Corvette, man. Ford and Chevy. I mean, not Ford and Chevy. Chevy and Dodge. The Dodge Viper was freaking popular, and this new Chevy Corvette was popular. The Mustang didn't really look a whole lot of, like, boss looking. Maybe that's why no one bought it, I guess, if that makes any sense. Because you gotta look at all the facts here. You gotta know why people didn't buy it, and I think that's why people didn't buy it. because it looked like crap to them, and they wanted a Chevy Corvette and a Dodge Viper. Those were supercars. The Ford Mustang is not a supercar. Dodge Viper and a Corvette is definitely a supercar, but the Corvette, well, the Dodge Viper I think would beat the Corvette. I don't know. So, I'll go ahead and show you this crap right now. This is a song. That's copied off of something else. Here's the backward button right here. I'll show you the sound of this if you didn't hear it. That's it. And this is the first speed. This is medium speed of the forward button. Backward button, it stays the third speed. You can't hold it down. It won't do nothing. Second speed, which is the slowest speed. And then the fastest speed there is. And that's that there. For some reason didn't hear that over the motor. That's it. So I'll show you that now here. Here's slow speed. That's slow speed. Faster second speed is coming up in a minute here. This is faster speed I'm doing right now. I wish I had another place to do this. I don't right now. This is the longest place we have. I'm gonna try doing it right down here. Alright. Full speed. Alright, it went a little bit nuts. That's because full speed. You go on full speed acceleration, it's gonna, if you floor it, bam, it's gonna. So, in the hallway upstairs, it definitely did that. But, so I basically gotta push it then, apparently. I didn't think it'd do it on here, but it does. Alright, we're going. That's how fast it goes. I can turn the light off. And do it like that. And then I'm going to show you some stuff that I did here. I fixed some crap. On there. backward first. Right. Shoot. So you shut itself off. That's how fast it goes originally, but going backwards. No one really likes to go backwards anymore, so really they have to go forwards now on all the cars. Almost all of them. Most of them only go forward. Most of them only will go forward, but some they still have making go backwards. There's more models than just this one. There's a Volkswagen and some other Mustang, I think, and some other one I don't know. I forgot about it. I think there's 4. Oops. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna do this one time here. Real quick here. Alright, we're gonna run. Alright, I only wanted to do that once. It's kind of hard to do that. Camera in your hand. So number 2, second speed. Alright, and then third speed, if I can get it to work down here. Hopefully I can. I'll show you some junk I fixed. Alright, we're gonna go. 3, 2, 1, go! There it is. Alright, I'm gonna show you some junk I fixed now. This light's old, so see, that one's burning out on us. Those 2 I already did down there. Those suck for me. I really don't like them all a lot, but I got them. I ain't throwing them away. I ain't throwing them away, I'm sorry. So, here's my stash of crap. I'll show you that crap now. You know, there's something different about that. Notice anything different? Oh, you're probably asking me, where the hell are the buttons? Well, this is the piece that came off. So, I took it off so I can get to the board here. I took the board out. The idiot right there, they took away. And the model number of this is 2498 on top of here. So see, this would fit right on top of here. I gotta put it on right. Fits about like that on there, but I took that off, so I'm left with that. This is the body it came on. This is the 2009 version. Took 4 batteries. We did that to it. I showed you in a different video called my Rotover Projects. I'm gonna take this all out and I'm gonna rebuild the turbo rig that I had before. I'm gonna rebuild it all. I'm gonna put the chip back in that it needed to have back in there. Well, I can't exactly put everything back in. I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to put the engine back in. I don't have all the parts. The motor right here. I don't have all the parts for that. I don't know where the crap they all went. Because I was like, almost 4 years ago I did that. But I'm gonna dig all this crap out and at least make it move and have lights and have the speaker running on it. You know, that's that at least. I'm just gonna make it all run again. I got it all. I'm just trying to figure out where in the fruit hole I'm supposed to put the wires because it doesn't label them on one of the things. It has 2 boards. It's got one here and it wires straight down right on top of here. And that's the main board right there, is the one in the middle there. And that's that. Yeah. Camper shell. We make a camper shell. That looks better. Camper shell. Yeah. That looks pretty cool like that. These will be windows. Different looking. Alright. Some other crap. This is not a road ripper. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm going to show you this real quick. That's the board that came out of the turbo rig right there. So the screws and the buttons in the bottom of it, they're pretty small. I got to get that back working. This is a stupid dumb chip that ain't worked. It's from stupid Fastlane. My dad smashed it and I kept the board, but I couldn't get it working, so now I just use it for spare parts. I just use it for wires and capacitors and all that crap. And I got a tip for Fixing Master. You said your wire snapped in your Thunderbird. I mean, I'm going to be making a troubleshooting video, not right now because I'm making 2 road ripper videos. I might do that in about a month or something like that. Maybe a month or 2 or something. And I'll be making maybe sometime in March or something. When it starts getting warmer, I'm going to be making a flea market video of road rippers by like looking for them, because there was a guy on there who suggested that I do a flea market one, so I'll have to go over to the flea market, and they have some road rippers there. They have a few new ones, but mainly they're all old. I'll tell you that. There was one old one there. I will tell you that I wanted that one. That was $20 though, and I didn't have any money that day, and the store was closed, and there was no one there. I mean, the store was about to close, and there was no one there. But the tip for Fixing Master is, you could try this. I don't know if you've tried it or not already or not yet, but try to find some wires you don't use. Get a wire stripper, strip them all off if you got one. Take your wire that has a speaker on there. Take your wire. I don't know exactly how to tell you that, really. I might show it to you in a minute here. Take your wire. 24 minutes, dang. Basically. Take your wire from the speaker in the board that snapped. And I don't know if you can do this or not. If you have a lighter at your home, like a cigarette lighter or a candlestick lighter, like the ones that you push this up and then you click on it, and there's a long, neat, like a long black thing, and then at the very end it has a little light right there. Or if you have like a small handheld torch. Any of those 3 might work, except the safest one would probably be the candlestick lighter, because it's farther away. Wherever the solder is on the speaker, since you don't have a solder gun, or if you don't think you do, if you do, cool. If you don't, take that candlestick lighter and hold the candlestick lighter with one hand, and take the wire on the other hand, hold the wire on the other hand, and then put the candlestick lighter on the solder and have it melt the solder. While it's melting the solder, do not let it off. If you do, it will like glue like that. It'll bam. It'll stick right like that. So keep it held on there, and while you're lighting that one, take your other hand and take the wire out. Now, don't do that to the board. You might need something else to get the board out. To get the board out, you might actually need a solder gun to get that out. I'm going to ask my dad about that, if you can take a lighter and get the solder off from the board. But I really don't think you're able to do that without a actual solder gun. Solder is not fire. The solder gun is not fire. Candlestick lighter is fire, so that might ruin your freaking board. I think it will ruin your dang board, so don't do that, actually. I mean, if you want to, you have to make it very kind of far away, but enough to heat up the solder. Don't put it directly on it. Don't do that. You pull that wire out and you take the new wire, such as this, and you strip the end where it looks like, I don't know how to show you exactly without. Looks like that on the end. You can't exactly see that at all. Well, looks like that on the end. And you put it back into the board wherever it was. Label it though. Put it back into the board and label where you put that in speaker. And then here's what you can do if you don't have a solder gun too. You remelt the solder and then you quickly put the wire back in and then let it off on both, and it will stick, hopefully. I'm pretty sure it'll stick. Same thing with the speaker. You put your wire down on the solder on the speaker to where it's all dry, and then you melt it with your candlestick lighter, whatever crap you got. You melt it with that, and it will start melting, and then you like quickly press your wire down in there to where it touches, and then you let off on both, and then bam, fixed. I'm pretty sure. If not, I might have to take a look at your video again, because I don't have a computer with me right now, so that I can look at it a second time just to make sure. Because I'm pretty sure your board is not the problem. Because rarely ever boards go, bam, they're not working anymore. Rarely ever does that happen. I've got a few that do that, my SSR and the BT Cruiser, but not all of them do that. There are a few minor problems. The BT Cruiser is a minor problem I cannot fix. Because if I hook up a motor to the board and I press the forward or backward button, it will completely shut off the board. That's why I cut the wires from there, so that I can get all 8 buttons instead of just 6, and to have it not shut off all the time. And I don't want that. So, in the SSR, if it gets ran into the wall, it shuts off for an entire day, and I have to take the batteries out and put them back in another day, it'll work again. And that really doesn't make any sense. But it does. And sometimes the buttons will get mixed up. Like the horn will go on the forward button, the start up will go on one of the songs, and sometimes it's just those 2 buttons on all of them. It really makes no sense, and all of a sudden it goes back to normal. Like, what? So, that's my tip for you there. You could maybe try that. I don't know if you want to or not. So I'm going to show you two more things here. This one will be real quick. This is not a road ripper. No duh, because there's no wheels. It's called a Speak and Spell, made back in 1978. It's got the year right there, but it don't work. Well, today at school, we had a half a day to school today. I took apart it all, and nothing seemed to be wrong. Nothing on there seemed to be wrong. So, like, all the wires were soldered on there good and everything. The only thing that I can think of is maybe the capacitors are bad. This thing is over 30 years old. And the guy that I learned electronics from, he said that capacitors go bad in like 25, 30 years. So I might need to replace the capacitors. Plus, for that very thing is, I don't have C batteries. This thing takes 4 C batteries, and so I don't have any right now. So I can't exactly test it. When it comes up, it's got a blue words here. And when you turn it on, it's like it's like, and the guy's like, spell walk. It's like 9 right, 0, and like 1 wrong. It's like perfect score. And then there's a certain one, it beats you on certain things. I think it's mystery word. And the computer, this thing is basically competing with you to try to find the mystery word. And I remember trying to know what the mystery word was. And I remember playing this thing a long time ago, and it would actually work. And it was like, I win. And it showed the word up there. I was like, crap. So, that's that there. And now I'm going to show you the piece of junk that is called a piece of shit. So, this baby right here is called a piece of shit. The Chevy shit. The 1957 Chevrolet shit. Not really. It's not. Well, here's what I did to it. I'll show you this in a minute. This always worked. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Alright, it should work now. It wasn't connected all the way. Alright. This always worked. That always worked for me. But the thing that didn't work was the startup. Whenever I pushed the startup button, it would say, gentlemen, start your engines. And then this is supposed to go up and down, right? And this is supposed to go drrrr, and these do this, and this spins, there's a light in there. Well, it wasn't doing that before in my other previous videos, back in Jason P. Funk. Well, guess what? I found the freaking problem. It ain't all the way fixed yet. But I know what the problem is, and I know how to fix it. But I will show you a preview on how it works right now. This is what I got done so far.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Okay. I got it to freaking work. Yeah. Thank God. Now these two pieces right here, these are going out of here. This is a V8. Now it's basically a V6 without 2 of the pistons there. These are gone because they were broke and they got stuck in the engine. I actually took apart this entire engine, and that's when I found out what the problem was. I took apart the entire engine and I got that piece out. I got that piece out of there, and I found the motor, because the motor is down in there. And I can show you the inside of this car in a minute. It is, it is, I took it apart from the body of the car, and I took this off, the engine off, and then I took that part off. And then right here inside here, this wheel came out, and it was a gear that looked like what this would look like if it were to be in there. If you've ever looked at the motor off of that. And then the motor was there, and it had this little white thing on the end, which looks like a screw basically, but bigger than a screw, plastic. And I was spinning it. I was like, this thing ain't stuck at all. I was like, this thing ain't stuck at all. I was like, there's a different problem to this. This ain't the problem. The motor's not the problem. Because whenever I would pick this engine up off of the car, it was running. I'd put it right back down and screw the thing back together. I wouldn't get squat. I found out the problem. I'll show you that right now. Let's get it apart. It's got latches on it. Oh. Okay, good. It's still apart. Come on. There we go. First time you will ever get to see one of these open. That's what it looks like. Now this, I'll show you in a minute what this is. See, this moves up and down. That's the battery compartment, and that's the motor right there, and there's the speaker back there. Little speaker. This is not the original tire. I put it on there for better grip. That way it didn't like peel out while I'm trying to make it go. That's why I did that there, so it would actually grip. That's the board back there. You can tell this is old because the capacitors, look. The capacitors are blue and black. You realize that? They are blue and black. The ones in them now are black and white. Same thing with the dang resistors. Look at the freaking resistors on there. They're blue. Now they're like tan with some other colors on them. And right now I'm in electronics class. I'm starting to learn more about that crap. That's how you know that this thing is old. I found out, I don't exactly know how old this thing is because there is no model number in here. But I took apart the engine and it said 1078. I was like, holy shoot. That means that thing is old. And like, the tape is even sticky. The tape is real sticky. It stays. It's even got tape down there. See these right here are the lights. And they're blue and white wires. Right? Those are light wires, blue and white. The other ones that you guys are more familiar with are like the blue and green. These are blue and white. These are older. And the motor wires used to be black and white, right? Like these. Nope, these are speaker wires, black instead of yellow. And then the motor wires, they're blue and red for some weird reason. And you want to know why? Well, I'll show you this real quick. I found on the board here, it says 97, right? So I'm gonna guess that that means this car was made in 1997, and I would believe that. I believe that. I kind of believe that on this. It's got this little spring right here. And this pops up and down. Oh, shoot. Oh no, what is that? Alright, that's good. Never mind. It pops up and down to make this go up and down. And does anyone want to know why, you know? I'll show you that real quick. See, look. Some other guys have been doing this in their videos. Now look. See how the lights are doing nothing right now? If I start moving the motor back and forth, see the lights start showing up? See? The lights start showing up. I found out why it does that. It ain't connected to the board per se. It's actually connected to the motor. See, You don't see any of these blue and white wires over here. Whenever one of the motors go on, say, see these two lights up here? They would only go on whenever I would move the wheels, right? These two lights are connected to the motor. So whenever the motor turns on, when there's batteries in it, because it won't do it when there's no batteries in it, but when there's batteries in it, whenever you're moving it forward or backward, it will turn on. Those two lights will turn on because it's connected to that motor. Same thing with the engine up here. Same thing with the light on the engine. It ain't connected to the board. It's connected to the motor. So whenever that motor turns on, that light will turn on. So if I were to somehow spin that motor on the engine right here, if I were to somehow do that, it would make it light up. If I made it spin fast enough. So I found out the dang problem. If I smash it all the way against that square, that's where it's supposed to go. That motor keeps falling out. So I found out if I put it all the way back together, it ain't gonna do squat. So this screw right here, there was nothing there, and I put that screw there to see if it would hold it in. No, I didn't measure the screw big enough. It doesn't hold it in, but I need to find something that will go over the motor, basically, to fit right there on that hole there. So make it flip over that, right? That's what I need to do. But I also tried another thing. I tried fitting something into that square right there. Here's what I did. I took this dime. This is not the one. This is not the thing I want to use. This is just a demonstration and for me to test out my idea. This is not what I'm using for it though. I'm going to use something better because this is going to do something to it later on and the dime is not going to stay in one spot. So that the dime would fit right there and the motor would lean against that dime. So when I would put it all the way back on, like that, I think it does it. I'm pretty sure.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
That's what it would do. So, I'm going to show you that real quick with all the lights off, how fast it will go with the lights off. And then this video is over with here. It looks awesome. That's cool like that, I don't know why, but it does. Alright. Here we go on starting the engine.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
One more time.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Alright, now we're going to go forward. Alright, now we're going to go forward again, but I'm going to be back here more when this is going this way. Alright, this thing is still apart because I still need to fix it, but I've got it almost done. I've got it almost done with it. Look at this, watch this. Hold on.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
now we're gonna go forward, and then this video is completely over with. 45-minute long video is too much. I need to start shortening these. So, ready? We'll give it a run for it.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
That's the one, yeah. Alright, done.